Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. Today we're going to talk about a major event that has recently sparked huge controversy in both the US medical and advertising worlds. On February 9th, 2025, during the 59th Super Bowl, a commercial that reached more than 120 million American viewers caused an uproar and triggered a direct clash between regulators and industry. On September 12th, Martin Makary, the commissioner of the US FDA, wrote in the medical journal JAMA that the telehealth company Hims and Hers Super Bowl ad violated federal law. The reason? It highlighted the benefits of a weight loss drug while failing to mention any of its side effects. Hims and Hers Health Incorporated, founded in 2017, is a U.S. telemedicine company that operates on a direct-to-consumer model. It offers prescription medications, over-the-counter products, and personal care items. Customers can consult licensed healthcare professionals through its platform and, after paying consultation fees and medication costs, receive treatments and products. The Super Bowl commercial promoted a compounded version of the popular weight loss drugs Ozempic and Wegovy, presenting it as an affordable alternative to expensive brand-name drugs. In the ad, Hims and Hers cast itself as a disruptive force in healthcare, challenging high drug prices and barriers to access. It clearly advertised its compounded semaglutide at $199 per month, sharply contrasting with branded drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy, which often exceed $1,000 monthly. To heighten the rebellious tone, the ad even used Donald Glover's politically charged song "This Is America" as background music. Now, what exactly are compounded drugs? They are customized formulations created by pharmacists or doctors by combining, mixing, or altering ingredients for individual patients. U.S. regulations permit compounding during drug shortages. While compounded weight loss medications are made with FDA-approved ingredients, the final products themselves are not FDA-approved and don't undergo the same rigorous quality controls as commercial drugs. Although state pharmacy boards and some third-party groups regulate compounding, the FDA does not inspect these facilities, nor can it guarantee safety and efficacy, posing serious risks. So while the ad drew attention for its bold social stance, federal regulators saw it as riddled with violations, setting the stage for enforcement. Under FDA rules, drug advertising must follow a few core principles. First, it must be truthful, Section 502A of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act prohibits false or misleading promotion, requiring complete accuracy. Second, it must maintain fair balance, meaning benefits and risks must be presented equally, as stated in 21 CFR 202.1. Third, when it comes to unapproved compounded drugs, ads must clearly and prominently disclose their regulatory status and limitations. This controversy drew fierce reactions from the medical community and advocacy groups. The Partnership for Safe Medicines, PSM, argued the ad endangered public health by exposing patients to treatments never rigorously reviewed. In fact, they had urged the FDA and Fox Broadcasting to block the ad even before it aired. PSM also highlighted hundreds of documented adverse event reports tied specifically to compounded GLP-1 formulations. At the same time, the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America, or PCRMA, issued a statement warning that the compounding industry lacks proper oversight and poses greater risks than FDA-approved drugs. They called on regulators to enforce the law and prioritize patient safety. Hims and Hers, for its part, defended itself. The company insisted it complies with federal law and follows FTC guidelines on so-called help-seeking ads. It also argued that compounded drugs serve a critical public health role, especially during shortages, by filling gaps in supply and reducing costs for patients. But what exactly did the ad leave out? First, it failed to mention semaglutide's potential side effects, contraindications, or risks, leaving viewers with virtually no safety information. Second, its disclaimer about the drug's unapproved compounded status was woefully inadequate. Just a tiny line of text appearing for 3 seconds at the very end of the 60-second spot. And most importantly, it implied that compounded drugs are just as safe and effective as FDA-approved brand-name drugs, a claim that alarmed lawmakers. In a rare bipartisan move, Senator Dick Durbin, a Democrat from Illinois, and Senator Roger Marshall, a Republican from Kansas, jointly urged the FDA to act immediately to protect patients. Their cooperation underscored how misleading drug ads can create nationwide concerns. Commissioner Makary also noted a broader problem. On social media, drug promotion often blurs the line between entertainment, user-generated content, and advertising. The result is a flood of casual, immersive marketing without clear labeling, making it hard for consumers to distinguish evidence-based information from sales pitches. He stressed that people should not have to play hide-and-seek with safety details. If companies want to advertise prescription drugs, risks and benefits must be presented equally and clearly. To address these issues, the FDA is now moving to strengthen rules and close loopholes in the so-called adequate provision requirements, while ramping up enforcement across all media channels. He also pointed out that FDA enforcement has declined in recent years. In the late 1990s, the agency issued hundreds of warning letters annually. By 2023, it sent just one, and in 2024, none at all. But on September 9th, President Trump signed a memorandum pushing his administration to crack down on non-compliant direct-to-consumer drug ads, ensuring more transparency and accuracy. Backed by this directive, the FDA now plans to issue around 100 cease and desist orders and thousands of warning letters to companies that fail to comply. For everyday consumers, the lesson from this hims and hers case is clear. First, ads don't always give the full story. Companies are supposed to show both risks and benefits, but they often don't. Second, compounded drugs are not the same as brand-name drugs. They can help during shortages, but they haven't undergone the same FDA testing. Third, weight loss drug promotions are everywhere, but that doesn't mean every option is safe or right for you. Your most reliable source of medical guidance will always be your doctor, not an ad. In short, advertising may be eye-catching, but when it comes to your health, always verify with a professional. And that wraps up today's discussion. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.